he? Oh, it's sick. Oh, that was really cool. Is he waterbending? Hello? Oh, okay. Little tandem. Oh, that's a serious Aang face. That's dope. So I've mentioned already that watching this show all the way through has been, you know, on my list forever, like since I was a kid, like 15 years ago. But now that I've actually started it, it's giving me the same feeling that I got when I finally started Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which was the first show I did on the channel. And I've had some older viewers come back into the comments, say they're excited to see this, and again, giving me the same feeling that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood was giving me when it was getting a lot of support, and all the comments are really good and really motivating. And I'm finding myself really excited to sit down and watch more Avatar. With that being said, I've seen that the title of this episode is the Southern Air Temple, and I think I mentioned last episode that I remembered them maybe going here, and I think that's where they find Momo, right? But we are getting through a lot of the things that I do remember from way back when I only watched the start of the show, really early in the series. So we should be getting into proper uncharted territory for me in this show really soon, which is probably going to make for better viewing and a better watching experience for me as well. Real quick before the episode here, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. It would really help me out and I'd really appreciate it. And if you feel like supporting the channel just a little bit more, no pressure here. I know I'm only a small channel, but there's a link to my Patreon down below. With all that being said, enjoy the video. Chapter 3. I like how it's books and chapters and not like series and episodes. That's kind of cool. Oh, that's pretty.
The Air Temple is one of the most beautiful places in the world.
It's been 100 years, man.
It's been 100 years.
Yeah.
Taka, wake up! There's a prickle snake in your sleeping bag.
Oh my god, he's a menace.
Get it off! Get it off!
I'd have the same reaction. Hello? Damn, they almost look like wooden ships from that angle.
Quickly as possible.
You mean the Avatar?
Don't mention his name on these docks. Once word gets out that he's alive,
Right.
Airbender will be out looking for
So
him.
Zuko wants to be the one to find him, yeah.
Getting
We
in
know
the
this.
way of what, Prince Zuko?
Is this his dad?
Iroh, great hero
Iroh.
of our nation.
Hero of our nation, okay.
The Fire Lord's brother.
Try to remember these names.
Our ship is being repaired.
Okay, it's not his father. Oh, yep.
Quite a bit of damage.
Yes. You wouldn't believe what happened. Uncle, tell Commander Zhao what happened.
They're trying to make something up on the spot.
It was incredible. What? Did we crash or something?
Yes.
Really? You must regale me with all the thrilling.
He's onto him.
Show Commander Zhao your respect.
Zhao.
We would be honored to join you. Do you have any ginseng tea?
Loves his tea. Oh, that's so cool. The fire. Okay, those are details. Need to remember them.
Hey, who ate all my blubbered seal jerky?
Oh, that was food? I used it to start the campfire last night.
That was food, he says.
We're almost there!
Aang, before we get to the temple, I want to talk to you about the Airbenders.
What about them?
The Fire Nation is ruthless.
Yo, I'm so sorry. The subtitles don't automatically come on. I've just realized they're not there. And I'm really sorry, but those first few minutes won't have subtitles.
The Fire Nation is ruthless. They killed my mother. They could have done the same to your people.
Right, okay. So there could be some carnage there.
They probably escaped.
I know it's hard.
It is interesting, like what happened to them?
Understand, Katara? The only way to get to an Airbender temple is on a flying bison. And I doubt the Fire Nation has any flying bison. Right, Appa?
Makes sense. But that's a question I really want to know the answer to. You know, what happened to the Airbenders? And what made the Fire Nation rebel as well? Like, why are they doing this? Oh yeah, this is a vibe. Oh yeah!
Air Temple. We're home, buddy. We're home.
Oh, that's gotta feel good though.
If my father thinks the rest of the world will follow him willingly, then he is a fool.
2 years at sea have done little to temper your tongue.
Well, he's been out there for a long time.
So, how is your search for the Avatar going? My fault entirely.
I think he's my favorite character, almost, the uncle.
The Avatar died 100 years ago, along with the rest of the Airbenders. Unless you found some evidence that the Avatar is alive.
No.
He's playing him. He's seeing right through him.
If you have an ounce of loyalty left, you'll tell me what you found.
I haven't found anything. The Avatar probably died a long time ago.
Trying to convince him.
Come on, Uncle. We're going.
Very selfish though by Zuko.
We interrogated the crew as you
Oh,
instructed.
here we go. It's over.
Confirmed Prince Zuko had the Avatar in custody, but let him escape.
Very interesting talking point, that whole conversation. This is dope though. This is straight out of like an old fantasy book.
So where do I get something to eat?
So that's where my friends and I would play airball. And where the bison would could sleep.
All the fun stuff. But there's nothing here. Yeah.
This place used to be full of monks and lemurs and bison.
Lemurs, that's Momo.
I
Yeah.
can't believe how much things have changed.
So, this airball game, how do you play?
Oh, nice. Taking his mind off it. Yeah, let's go. Nah, good friends. I imagine this is probably meant for airbenders. Whoa, uh-oh, that does not bode well.
Katara,
That's a Fire Nation helmet, no?
we should tell him.
Aang, there's something you need to see.
Okay.
If this is actually what happened, I definitely don't remember. Oh, she covered it.
What is it?
She couldn't do it to him, man.
You know, you can't protect him forever.
Yeah. But he was having a fun time. Ah, that's tough, that's tough. Interesting, though.
If he finds out that the Fire Nation invaded his home,
I don't know.
devastated.
The way Zhao was talking, and maybe Zuko,
I want you to meet somebody.
makes it sound like
Monkey Yatsu,
they haven't been here? I don't know.
Airbender in the world.
Ooh.
He taught me everything I know.
Yaso.
But the true
Oh, nice.
secret is in the gooey center.
Hello?
This whole avatar thing. Maybe the monks made a mistake.
The only mistake
Yeah,
is
self-belief again.
you before you turned 16. Can't concern ourselves with what was. We must act on what is.
Damn, look at all the bison.
Your questions will be answered when you're old enough to enter the Air Temple Sanctuary.
Okay.
You will meet someone who will guide you on your journey.
That's dope. I like that.
You help me with these cakes?
They look like poops, man. You know, like the cartoon poops.
1, 2, 3.
Is this where Aang gets his playful side from, maybe, this guy? Damn, that's gotta be tough.
Where are you going?
The Air Temple Sanctuary.
Oh, he's going in.
There's someone I'm ready to meet.
Is it like a past Avatar or something?
No one could have survived in there for 100 years.
I don't think it's a person.
I underestimated him once, but it will not happen again.
No, it will not. Because you won't have a second chance.
Yeah, I thought this might happen.
Zhao, I've been hunting the Avatar for 2 years and
And you failed. Capturing the Avatar is too important to leave in a teenager's hands.
I mean, from the Fire Nation perspective, that's facts. For Zuko, it's like an honor thing, right? Hmm.
More tea, please.
Oh, yeah, alright. Are these all past avatars, maybe? There's a lot of them, I don't know.
It feels like I know them somehow.
Yeah, he's got a connection to him.
Airbender.
And this one's a waterbender. They're lined up in a
What? Hey, I wanted to know about this.
water, earth, and fire.
I see.
Cycle.
I understand.
They're avatars. All these people are your past lives.
So the next avatar would be a waterbender, right? After Aang, is that what this means? Okay, so it isn't in a specific order. This guy looks familiar. Is he the last avatar?
Who is that?
That's Avatar Roku. The avatar before me.
Roku.
You were a firebender?
He was a firebender.
How do you know his name?
I'm not sure. I just know it somehow.
Oh, that's clean. What? Nah, that's Momo. There's Momo. Mid-episode cliffhanger. There he is.
Dinner.
Oh god.
You're gonna be my new pet.
Yes, sir. Right. Sokka needs to relax. Is Momo the only lemur there?
Don't underestimate me, Zhao. I will capture the Avatar before you.
Yeah, it's very personal.
That's enough.
I have hundreds of warships under my command.
Yeah, he's a commander, you know.
You're just a banished prince.
Banished. Did we know about this?
Your own father doesn't even.
Okay, it's making sense though. With Zuko's character.
The Avatar to my father, he will
Yeah, okay.
welcome me home
Now it all makes sense.
and restore my rightful place on the throne.
I respect it.
Home. He would have let you return by now.
So, okay, everything this is a great episode.
He's a disgrace to the Fire Nation.
That's not true.
How did he get banished?
The scar to prove.
Yeah, okay. Did he get burnt by fire?
Challenge.
Prince Zuko, have you forgotten what happened last time you dueled a master?
Maybe that's what happened. The camera pans over his eye here. This is good stuff, man. This is really good stuff. Oh no.
Fire
Oh, okay.
here?
Yeah, okay. Is that... There's no shot, that's... Oh, it's Gyatso. Okay, so they... Okay.
Everything will be alright.
That's
Let's
tough.
get out of here.
Well, something's gonna happen in here as well, look. That's so dope, man. That's so dope. Where is this? This looks like an earthbender. This is a waterbender. Water tribe, fire nation. Ooh. Do they all have their own temples? Oh, they all know now because of this. And clearly, obviously doesn't know he's doing this, hey? Dude, the effects are so sick.
He found out firebenders killed Gyatso.
Yeah, and he lost the plot a little bit.
It's his avatar spirit. I'm gonna try and calm him down.
Well, do it before he blows us
Well,
up.
Katara's voice almost triggered him into this, you know, in episode 1 or 2, sorry, maybe episode 2. Episode 2. I'm here for this as well. Man,
Remember your fire
so much like
Prince Zuko.
swapping over from Aang and then to Zuko. Okay, let's really get a gauge on where Zuko's at here against Zhao. Classic Avatar soundtrack here. Like the style and everything is so cool. The way it's almost like a dance. And like martial arts combined.
Basics, Zuko. Break his root.
Yeah, this has been a theme. The fundamentals. Oh yeah. Okay. But that was dope. Get him on the back foot now, Zuko. You find yourself rooting for Zuko. It's really interesting. At least I do. Did he actually win?
Do it!
Yeah, this is a classic moment. Okay, he did it. Now he missed him. Yep.
That's it?
Yep.
Your father raised a coward.
Next time you get in my way, I promise.
Oh, I like Zuko. And I had a feeling I was meant to. Let's go, Uncle.
So this is how the great
Yep.
Zhao
That's low.
defeat. Disgraceful.
Talk to him.
Even in exile, my nephew is more honorable.
Honor. That's for Zuko. Yeah.
Once again for the tea.
That's kind of setting up maybe an enemy for Zuko. You know, Zhao.
Of course. I told you ginseng tea is
About the honor, man, not the tea. Oh, we're back.
Aang, I know you're upset. And I know how hard it is to lose the people you love.
Their mother.
Same thing when I lost my mom. But you still have a family. Sokka and I, we're your family now.
That's such a nice thing to say. So I think he needs to learn to control this. Avatar spirit, avatar state, whatever you want to call it.
Katara and I aren't gonna let anything happen to you. Promise.
Aw,
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
that's gotta be tough though.
The firebenders found this temple. That means they found the other ones too. I really am the last airbender.
Yeah, okay. Damn, so like how does the cycle go on? From water, earth to fire, and then are there even any more airbenders after Aang?
Talk to him. Maybe you'll find a way.
He's back. He brought Sokka some food. He is the realist.
You, me, and Appa. We're all that's left of this place. We have to stick
The
together.
last bison, the last lemur, the last airbender.
What are you gonna name him?
Say the name.
Momo.
Yeah, you already know. Excellent. I like this track as well. Don't know how to explain, but it makes you feel a certain way. That was a great episode. Not a stopover episode at all on the way to the North Pole. There was a lot in that. Alright, I think I'm going to do a lot of talking about Zuko in this episode, and I will comment on, I know I mentioned it towards the end of the episode as well, but the whole back and forth, it's been through all 3 episodes pretty much. You know, we're going from Aang doing something to Zuko doing something, and even in the second episode, it was a bit of like Sokka, you know, getting ready to fight, and then Zuko getting ready to fight, but there was a lot of back and forth between Aang's big moments and Zuko's big moments in this episode. Like, obviously setting up, right, like Aang is the main protagonist, and at this point, Zuko is the main antagonist, but he's a very interesting, like, not your typical antagonist, right? Maybe the actual antagonist is the leader of the Fire Nation, right? The Fire Lord, Zuko's father. Because I've actually been thinking about this show a lot since I've started watching it again, and I haven't said this yet, but it's absolutely safe to say this now, but I was feeling like I was really going to like Zuko. I really felt I was going to like his character, and they already in the first few episodes put so much room for character development and growth for him, and this episode has absolutely set up Zuko as someone that you can root for, even though he is looking for Aang, right? He's looking for our main protagonist. You still kind of want Zuko to succeed in his own right, and we'll get more into that as we go through the episode here, but I really enjoy that. Like, there is an antagonist here, you know, a bad guy, but you kind of want him to succeed, but maybe find a different way, you know? So we start off the episode with Aang, Katara, and Sokka arriving at the air temple, and completely juxtapositioned with Zuko and his uncle arriving wherever they've ended up, you know, to get their ship repaired. And we meet Commander Shao, who by the end of the episode is made out to be, you know, I guess like an enemy for Zuko, really. Which is really interesting considering they're both, you know, important parts of the Fire Nation, or at least Commander Zhao is, and we find out that Zuko has in fact been exiled. We get the uncle's name, it's General Iroh, and Shao calls him a hero of the Fire Nation. To which Iroh says, "I'm retired." So I'm really interested about Uncle Iroh's past here. I might continue calling him Uncle because, like, you're kind of seeing a lot of this through the eyes of Zuko, and Zuko obviously calls him Uncle. That's really interesting. I really want to know about what Iroh has accomplished in his life. Obviously, he's very wise. He's teaching Zuko. It's very interesting the fact that Zuko has been exiled, but Iroh is with him as well. Maybe that was his own choice. It's very interesting to think about. But Zhao is all over Zuko. As soon as he's seen the way that their ship has been destroyed, he's like, "Alright, I think you found something," and he manages to get it out of the crew members. He has some of his guys, you know, interrogate Zuko's crew, and they do cough up the information that they did have the Avatar in custody, and that's how their ship ended up the way it was. But Zuko is very determined not to let the information slip that the Avatar was out there and that they did find him, which goes back to episode 1, you know, and Zuko saying, "Look, it's all about my honor." And I thought Zuko was being very selfish, because I don't think we know up to this point that Zuko has been exiled. But it all makes sense now, and that's why this episode was so good, because we find out that Zuko has been exiled by his father, the Fire Lord, and I'm assuming it has something to do with his, I imagine that's a burn mark on his eye. And Uncle Iroh even referred to, "Do you remember what happened the last time you fought a master?" as the camera pans over Zuko's burnt eye, so you can kind of put 2 and 2 together about that. But Zuko's trying to prove himself to the Fire Nation, to his father, the Fire Lord, by finding the Avatar and bringing him in, and then assuming his rightful place on the throne. This is Zuko's whole identity, his whole character, his whole meaning for life, and it makes a lot of sense. I don't think you can really fault Zuko for wanting to do that at this point. Like I said, I thought it might have been selfish of him, but he's not thinking about the whole Fire Nation. He's been exiled. He's just thinking about, you know, himself and his bloodline, his family. You know, he wants to be in his entitled position on the throne. It's a very classic thing, but it makes a lot of sense, I think, in this instance. And as Aang, Katara, and Sokka arrive at the air temple, they did draw attention just before they got there to the fact that, look, it's been 100 years. A lot could have changed. You know, Aang, maybe be prepared for what you might see. And Katara was very wise, I think you're bringing that up. But Aang was more curious than anything to actually see what things looked like. And he was a bit sad when he saw that, you know, it was empty pretty much. It was barren. Nothing was there. Katara and Sokka do a great job of trying to cheer Aang up by playing airball with him, to which they find the first, you know, a Fire Nation helmet lying on the floor. Katara covers it up because she doesn't want Aang to know. Sokka saying, "Look, how long are you going to protect him for?" And maybe that's going to be a bit of a theme going forward. Maybe Katara's going to be like protective of Aang. And then they find Gyatso's statue, and that pretty much confirms to Aang that, you know, Gyatso's dead. Obviously, it's been 100 years, but that's probably a little bit shocking to Aang to see a statue of someone that he was very close to, that was teaching him a lot about airbending. And you can see from that flashback that Aang, you know, maybe gets a little bit of his playful side from Gyatso as they play that prank on the other monks that were there. But Gyatso is talking about, you know, the air temple, about Aang going in when he's ready, and apparently he wasn't supposed to know that he was the next Avatar until he was 16. So, you know, he was told 4 years too early, but when he's ready, he will go into the air temple and he will meet, obviously, the previous Avatar. He was a firebender. I have an image of him in my head. Like, I don't know, I can't put a scene to it or a situation or anything, but he definitely looks familiar. Maybe we get some flashbacks or something, and maybe, because Aang said he just knew who he was, so maybe they'll have a bit of a connection, you know, maybe he guides Aang or something. It's really interesting to think about. But it's so cool them being in that room in the air temple, all the statues of all the previous Avatars, and I love they confirmed that detail really early, that it is an order: air, water, earth, fire, right? That's the order of the Avatar. avatars. And I was also questioning, like, is the avatar always an airbender, or is it just random? But no, there's an order. The avatar before Aang was a firebender, and the one after Aang is going to be a waterbender. And that's also the order in which the avatar must master the 4 elements, which is what Katara was saying last episode as well. So that's great. We're confirming a lot of these like specific details really early, and we get a really good jumping back and forth between scenes of Zuko and Aang here. So Aang, you know, after Momo has popped up and him and Sokka are chasing after Momo, Aang finds himself in a room. There's clearly a Fire Nation have been there, and that's seemingly what has happened to all the monks and the airbenders. Fire Nation turned up, and there was definitely some sort of battle. Gyatso's corpse is here, surrounded by all this Fire Nation armor. So it seems like Gyatso had his last stand, you know, fending all of these people off. I think they all died at the same time, which is really tragic. Aang runs in and sees that, and he loses control. He actually sees Gyatso's corpse. He sees what happens. It was the Fire Nation, and he goes into the Avatar state, or what Katara said was the Avatar spirit. And you can see how Aang's eyes and his arrow symbol start to glow. The same thing happens to all the statues in the Air Temple, and it seems like in a bunch of other temples in all the other nations as well that are probably paying homage to all the previous avatars as well. And just like that, all the other nations know that the Avatar's back. We saw shots of like an Earth tribe and a Water tribe, I'm assuming, and then the Fire Nation saying, look, alert, whoever, the Avatar is back. So all of a sudden, you know, we're in business. The Avatar is here. And Zhao had already obviously found out that Zuko had found Aang, but now it's on a much bigger scale. Like, you know, the whole world knows the Avatar is back. So Aang's in a state, he's causing like quite the whirlwind, you know, in the Air Temple, and Katara wants to calm him down. And just before she gets into that, we cut over to Zuko fighting Zhao. Zuko has challenged Zhao after Zhao was pretty much saying, look, we're gonna leave, and once we've gone, you know, then you can be free and do your thing. And Zuko's like threatening Zhao, and that's when we get a lot of the juicy details about Zuko, about his exile and like what happened to him and whatnot. But nevertheless, Zuko's not backing down. He challenges Zhao, and it seems like Uncle Iroh's training has been paying off, because you would assume that Zhao is just gonna wipe the floor with Zuko, right? He's obviously much more experienced, he's a commander, and he's significantly older, right? But he seems to have the upper hand. Zuko goes in early, it seems like he's getting tired. And again, I'll comment on, like, I love the Fire Nation, the style, like it's like a dance, but it's very like strict, and it's like martial arty. I imagine all the elemental bendings are kind of different. Like water bending seems to like flow really well, but the fire style is really dope. But the fight goes on, and Zhao seems to have Zuko cornered, and Iroh is talking about, look, remember the fundamentals and the basics and whatnot, which is what he was saying to Zuko in the past. You know, focus on the basics, the fundamentals, before you move on to the more advanced stuff. And Zuko catches Zhao out with a really sick move, and they do a classic like triple take of the shot. Like he sweeps his feet out from under him, and then he's got Zhao on the back foot, and he shows a little bit of mercy. Like he could have, you know, done the same thing that I imagine is what happened to Zuko with his eye, but instead he says like, no, I could have had you. And as he turns his back to walk away, Zhao tries to get a cheap shot in, to which Iroh steps in and stops Zhao easily, kind of showing that maybe Iroh is actually very strong, even if he's retired. And Iroh kind of hits Zuko a little bit in the feels when he says, look, even after exile, Zuko has more honor than you, Commander Zhao, which is big time, because we know Zuko, you know, honor is a big thing to him. You know, that's a massive theme behind his character. So to hear that from his uncle, especially in this kind of situation, it must mean a lot for Zuko. And this is where you start to root for Zuko. You know, he's been exiled. He's just trying to, you know, win his father's approval. But it seems like, obviously, the Fire Nation are bad, right? The Fire Lord is obviously not a good person. He's exiled his own son. He's trying to, like, take over everything. And they were talking about, you know, the Earth Kingdom a lot in this episode. So already I'm looking at Zuko's character to kind of find his own way. Maybe realize that, you know, the Fire Nation, it is what it is. They are the bad guys. And I really don't see how it could happen, which is good, because then I'm open to being surprised if it does happen. You know, but Zuko finds Aang, and then he fails, and then he's faced with Zhao, and it's looking like he might fail again, but then he succeeds. And after you find out more about his character, it's like, okay, Zuko's really interesting. And I know I've rambled a lot about Zuko already, but like I said, it's something I've been thinking about, you know, off camera a lot, and I'm already 3 episodes in. So all in all the Zuko stuff is really good. I'm really curious to see where they go with Zuko's character and the whole Fire Nation storyline and whatnot. So we end the episode with Katara and Sokka finally calming Aang down from his crazed state. Still very tired afterwards. You can see it takes a lot out of him. And they call him, you know, his new family. Like they all have shared loss. Aang's lost everyone he knew from 100 years ago. They've lost their mother. You know, they know what it's like, but we can all be a family now together, which is really nice. It's one of the nicest things you could say to someone, you know, in this instance. They're all in this together. They've all experienced loss. And then just as they're about to leave, Momo finally comes back. He brings Sokka some food, which is really cool because Sokka was just talking about being hungry the whole damn episode. And now Momo's ready to be a part of the group. Maybe he saw that Aang was like the Avatar doing all that crazy stuff and now he wants to be a part of it. Maybe I'm reading into it too much. He's just a lemur. But that's really cool. But that's it, and off they go. Really cool shot with a really interesting like track playing in the background as they leave the air temple, which was all three of their homes, you know, Aang, Appa, and now Momo as well. And like I said, I think this is the case, right? Aang is the last airbender. I imagine Appa is the last flying bison, and maybe it seems like Momo is the last lemur as well. We haven't seen any other ones, but that's really cool that all three of them are together. Three different types of, you know, species, like from the whole air temple, like airbending sort of area, and now they're all together, and I really like that. It might not be the actual case, but I really like that that's kind of what you think about the situation here. But that was a fantastic episode. Like, I knew this show was great. I knew the whole concept of bending and like the action in the show was really good, but I didn't expect like the story and the characters to hit this much this early, and it's just absolutely pulled me right into feeling just completely invested in the show, which is exactly where you want to be. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get into shows, but because this has been a show that I've been familiar with like in the past, and like I've known of its existence for so long, I already feel like someone invested. So this is fantastic. Really good stuff. So I'm gonna leave this one here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. And as always, please feel free to leave your comments and feedback down below. You know, I always appreciate it. We'll see you all in the next episode of Avatar.